Yay! Okay. So, welcome everybody. We were going to do a Facebook Live. Gremlins got in the way, so we were over on Zoom for a hot minute with the cast, some of the cast and crew of Tainted Love. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lisa Stedman. I'm writer and co-director of Tainted Love, which is a timely and topical short film that examines the pros and cons of AI companionship in a world of lost love, new love, and dark secrets, while examining, and I think this is really important, my husband's really big into responsible AI, so he's rubbing off on me, while examining the ethical and environmental impact of powering AI companions, much like the intense energy consumption of Bitcoin. So tonight, I'm excited to introduce you to some of our cast and crew, as well as facilitate a thoughtful discussion about the gray areas of human versus AI companionship. First, where did the idea for Tainted Love come from? I personally have been studying the gray area of modern relationships since my mom made me her marriage counselor when I was 12. Hadn't kissed a boy yet, but she thought that was appropriate. So that explains a lot about her. But it also explains why I grew up to write best-selling books about breakups and dating and study relationships. More recently, I've written rom-coms for Hallmark and Tubi. And while indie filmmaker was never on my vision board, I do really believe in the timeliness and power of this story, which is why I decided to bring this to life myself. But of course, it takes a village to make a film. So when I wrote the script, I actually wrote it, there's 6 characters. I wrote it with 3 actors in mind. 2 of the 3 said yes immediately, and we cast them. Very excited. One of them is here tonight. So Eusebio, who played my husband in another series I co-created, or I actually created this one, Imposter Mom, was a web series. You can watch it on YouTube. Eusebio Hernandez, he's currently on The Pit. You know, you might have heard of that show. He's not able to join us tonight because he's filming, but I wrote the part of Jorge, who is a Renaissance man and devoted husband to Stella, who's played by Chris, who is on this call. I wrote the part with Eusebio in mind. We've played before, loved it. And even though he's busy on The Pit, he literally was like, I will work around your schedule. Within hours of reading the script, he emailed me and was in. And I so appreciate, he said this about the script. He said, it's so you, it's sexy, funny, and poignant. So thank you, Eusebio, for reading it and resonating with it, but also saying yes. And then John Ciccolini's in the house. Hi, John. So I've known John for years. And he has been on shows like Justified and Dexter, to name a few. Plus, he's a super talented singer whose one-man show, and I may get this title wrong, John, but is it Frank Sinatra Ruined My Life or Love Life?
Frank Sinatra fucked up my life.
Yes,
Wow.
even better. So Fucked Up My Life, and it's still one of my favorite live performances ever. So I wrote the part of Ronnie, a lovable divorced dad who doesn't really like dating in LA in his 50s, for John. And I'm so glad that you said yes, John.
Me too. It's fantastic.
Oh, and let me make sure, as Diana was pointing out, let me feature you, because here we go. Oh, it's not letting me do that. Sorry, we're just gonna have to roll with it. Okay, well, I'm gonna say this about you anyway. Well, actually, I want to ask you a question. When you got an email from me out of the blue, and it had been a couple years since we talked, what were you thinking? What made you like even think this woman isn't crazy? Maybe I should read her script. Like, talk me through that process.
Well, we met through an ex-girlfriend of mine, and I always loved you and Louie. And when people break up, a lot of times you lose the other person, your friends, because they were friends with the other person, whatever. But I always loved you guys, and you guys supported me after that breakup. So when I got an email for you, I was actually thrilled. It's like, oh, wow, how is she doing? How's Louie? And then I read the script, and it's so perfect. It is exactly, I hate AI. The fact that people are so lonely that AI is soothing them breaks my heart. The fact that anyone would even think of creating an AI person for companionship breaks my heart. So this project says, I agree with it 1,000%. And the part you wrote for me is me. So how could I say no?
Yeah.
No one's ever written
Ah,
anything for me before. It was a huge compliment, and I thank you.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure. Also, and I think this is an important piece of the puzzle is while we all have our own opinions about AI, what I really want to explore in this short film is the different opinions about AI, right? Like I may think I would never have an AI companion, but other people will and might. And I just saw a video of a guy who proposed to his AI that's, not even in human form yet. And he got emotional about it. And I was like, whoa, like while I have a lot of opinions about that, I'm really honored that that's his point of view, and I'm so curious to see what that looks like for him down the road. So I will be following that person on social media. Um, so I'm going to introduce you to some of our other cast members in a moment, but let me just ask this question. I'm going to put it out to our cast. So if AI companionship came in a physical form that looked and acted fully human, is it something you would consider? Anyone want to take that? We know John's point of view.
I would. I
Yeah,
would. I would
Oh,
just out of curiosity because I mean, love is so hard in general, so why not try to create something that's perfect and see where it goes from there? Like you don't know unless you try, right?
right.
So, I would just be curious on what that would entail. So yes, I would go for it. Totally.
It's interesting.
I'll
Yeah,
jump
I'm
I'll jump
curious.
in and take the converse of that and just simply say that I don't think so. I
Okay.
have a lot of really bad personality traits. And I don't think that I need an AI bot saying that it's okay, right? I don't, my
Mm,
husband puts me in check and he's like, back it up. You're going down a wormhole. This is negative talk. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Like he puts me in check. And
right.
that's his personality. And I think that I would want somebody who would push back in a natural, and I'm not saying that AI couldn't do
I
that.
know, because what if it
Because
could?
you could probably program it to, be a little sassy.
Yeah,
So,
It could, but I think at the same time, like AI doesn't have my upbringing. AI doesn't know
yeah,
my background. My parents divorced when I was 3, the hardships that I went through in my life, the failures, the successes. I also don't live my husband's successes and failures and hardships in life. How do you train an AI to know hardships, successes, and failures? And then also to push back, right? So I don't know. It seems a little wackadoo to me.
I think
well,
it's
we may
also
get there.
it's probably a generational thing too, right?
Very
So
much.
Right.
I think if you were to do like a Gen Z, which they're kind of, they're an interesting group at this
Bunch.
point in time. And, the Gen Alphas that they're really encased in technology. I think this would definitely benefit them, right? Because they're all into the social media and sticking to their one zone or being on, these things that it's a community for them.
But I will tell you, as a Gen Xer, yes, I'm really old. Um, I do not allow my children technology. They get TV.
Interesting.
They get
Okay.
TV, and they don't get unlimited access. We don't even own a tablet that works. Um, so so I think for me, like I'm really trying to secure them away from a lot of this currently because so many studies out there have shown the detriment that AI and technology and social media does to young children. So
Yeah.
I'm in that like granola phase, I guess.
I don't,
Well,
I'm
to
gonna,
each their own. Oh, go ahead,
I
Deanna.
was gonna jump in real quick and say that it also is what you like, how do you perceive AI, right? Some people perceive it as like if you use Chat GPT for anything, right, it can start to model your voice, it can start to do things. Some people are really looking at it as another form of consciousness, not just robot.
Mhm.
Right.
So, which is, you know, I'm a Gen Xer myself, so I'm like, whoa, what the hell is this? At the same time, I'm like, what if I had a bot not to replace a partner, but to be an addition, And
Right.
no, I'm not,
I
not
could
I'm
clone
not
A
going to
little
give away.
saucy.
I don't want to give away any of the script, but a bot's never gonna tire out. A bot's never gonna, I might need a
They
bot to
know.
satisfy me sexually. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Like I'm serious. I know
Yeah.
John's
No,
like, what the hell? But seriously, like it
No,
can just be my lover for sex.
yeah.
And then I get my human soul over here, and I need someone to tell me I'm beautiful when I'm not feeling beautiful. Okay, let me play with my bot. I'm not
so
saying who knows.
polygamy is really in
What
trouble
I
now.
love about this is how it really sparks conversation, right? Like we all have such strong opinions about it. So I want to keep moving because we have other stuff to get to, and I want to make sure everyone gets introduced. But I want to share, first of all, loving the conversation, and that's really what I want this short film to do: is spark conversation, so people critically think about their choice, regardless of what the choice is. Because Deanna's point, I wouldn't want it to replace my man, but it could be a nice companion to my man. I totally agree. So, and yes, honey, you can also have a bunch. Um, so as a first-time director, I've had several friends. I've actually had 3 screenwriter friends who have made short films in the last couple of years, and they've all said to me, if you're going to write it, you should direct it. Now, I don't fancy myself a director. I really see myself more as a writer-producer, but I really heard them and I thought, okay, I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and I'm going to direct. I didn't want to do it alone. So I don't think, Brian wasn't able to join us tonight, but my friend Brian, who we do a lot of corporate storytelling work together. I direct stuff. We co-direct a lot of stuff, and actually we've co-directed Chris before. So Brian and I have collaborated many times. He always makes me better. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, would you co-direct this with me? Now, the nice thing about Brian is not only is he brilliant, but he also comes with a whole package of goodies, which what I mean by that is he co-owns a post-production house in Culver City called General Assembly, which means we also have access to his incredible partner, John Tipton, who's going to be our cinematographer. He's an Emmy-winning cinematographer. So it was like a nice bow on the idea of getting support for directing, but also getting, like, now we have an editor through John and Tippy. So I feel the magic of this project just kind of coming to life before our eyes. And then, of course, once Brian was on board, and Tippy was on board, we were like, we kind of need a producer, because while I am a producer, being in director mode is so different, and I wanted someone to take care of me, which is how Tara came into the fold. So let me tell you about Tara, because you're only seeing her from here up. But if you saw her in real life, you would understand what I'm about to tell you. She was a rockette,
Oh, once in another
like
lifetime.
a Radio City rockette, and could be one today, and a Broadway dancer before she transitioned into acting, voiceover, and motion capture, and then eventually producing. So, Tara, I'm so glad we kind of just discussed the project and you threw your hat in the ring, and I was going to ask you anyway, so it was perfect. What excited you about coming on board?
First, I just love you. I think you're amazing. You told me about the script. We have all such strong feelings about AI. Um, as a writer, I'm sure for you, AI is almost a scary thing.
I
Um,
love it. I
because
love it. It's like a great assistant and a great research tool.
it
Like,
is, but that's where we need to use it as a research
yes.
tool, not as a replacement. And I think that that's what we need. That's kind of what I don't want to give it away. That's kind of what the script kind of gets at, right? AI is not a replacement. So while Chris would venture into the world of AI bot, and so might
But it
Deanna.
can't be. I mean, this is the thing. I think we can read the script and think, oh, I know my point of view. And yes, there's definitely a strong point of view, but there's also, like, robot dick stays hard, as we alluded to. Like, there are some benefits to that.
There are benefits. They will clean the dishes when I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the number of times that I wish that happened. So I don't know. It's just being a part of something. I have been in corporate world for a few years now, basically since COVID and since having kids, right? I've gradually gotten out of the entertainment world, but this is an opportunity to kind of get back in, like get my feet wet again, get my creative juices flowing, be a part of something bigger than me. I love it. I think the script is great. I think the concept is great. And like I said, I love you, and I think that this is going to be a really fun project. So I'm very happy that when I threw my hat in the ring, you were like, yeah. So that was very flattering, and everything you said up to this point was incredibly flattering. So thank you for that.
Oh, well, we feel really taken care of by you, so thank you. So, here's another question. So you all have read the script, and you know that we open on podcasters discussing the current state of AI and how it relates to romantic partnership. And then there are these AI companions that you can buy and have as your romantic partner, and they're discussing like the ethical and environmental implications of that. So originally they were radio hosts, and Brian said, "Why don't you modernize it and make them podcasters?" And I was like, I know exactly who those podcasters are. So I reached out to my friend Aisha, who she and I actually wrote rom-com for her last year. She's an executive producer. And we have pitched my breakup books all over town. We have known each other for years. And she now has a podcast called The AI Chicks, her and her friend Lana, her co-host. So we went in studio last weekend, Brian and I did, and what was half page of dialogue turned into an hour conversation about AI and companionship and love and the implications. And I'm calling that sexy bonus material for the short. I think it's going to really crack open the conversations that I want to be having beyond the short. And one of the things that they brought up about relationships, so I want to ask this of all of you. So if it's not AI companionship, would you be open? If you're single, would you be open? If you're in a relationship, would you be open to having AI help you in a dating coach capacity? And here's the example they gave, which I really liked. So Lana said, what if you're on a dating app and you've been talking to the same girl for a really long time, but you've never asked her out? And AI prompts you to ask her out and gives you the way to ask her out. So like AI kind of helps you with your game or your social cues. And I thought that's actually a great way to use AI. And I'm curious what you guys think about that.
I would never do it.
Never.
Never.
Well,
It's
you're such a romantic, John. You don't need any help.
Look, this to me is insanity. This is not a real person. This
Yeah.
is plagiarism. It eats what's out there and regurgitates it. It doesn't pay for any of it. You're getting advice from maybe it's getting advice from idiots. To me, life is, and this whole thing about game and not having game, as a guy who was on those apps, and it's so depressing to be on an app because it's just like yes, no, yes, no. It's all about what you look like or what you wrote on your profile, and half of it's
right.
anyway. Everybody lies. It's just so sad to me. It's insanity. I am trying as hard, and I build websites. You know that I can build a website in 4 minutes with AI, but I find my brain atrophies.
I so get that.
Yeah, so I'm dead set against it in any capacity, and I know I'm probably older than all of you here, and maybe that's the reason, or maybe I just love people. The real.
Well, I don't think it's either or, though, right?
What?
I don't think it's either or. I think you can love people and embrace AI. But I hear you. I'm curious what everyone else has to think. Chris, I think you have a strong opinion here.
I love it.
I think one, it's probably going to be the wave of the future anyway. The more that we fight it, the more it's going to happen. And then also, there are people that love people. I'm not saying that anything's wrong with that, but there are people in the world that are so, those agoraphobias and different phobias that they can't meet people, or they want someone to love, and things like that. So I don't know if it could be like a tool for them to maybe talk to people and use it in that sense.
Learn how to talk to people. Yeah.
Right. So I think it could be beneficial for some mental issues as well. So I think there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages. You don't know unless you try. Like, it's just gonna happen. I mean, like, with cars running around by themselves, and we're gonna get like helicopters.
And I do love Waymo, I'm not gonna lie.
Right. And people were just like, oh, I'm dead set against that. I'm never going to get in a car. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is not so bad after all. So, I mean,
It's
you just,
quiet. The
right.
driving is very chill.
And for
They
women
play
that
spa music.
and for women that's a great thing because of certain safety issues that we all have to deal with,
Yeah.
like, we always have to think of that in our daily. Women have to think about that. So, I think, yeah, I mean, I think it just could help certain demographics of people.
I think that's an interesting point. Before we get other opinions, I do want to introduce our final two people that we haven't really introduced yet. So actress Chris Ruiz is in the house. She was just talking. Like I said, we met on a corporate storytelling gig. I had the pleasure of interviewing her for the project, and I'm sitting across from Chris, and she was so fun to talk to. I was like, I think she's Stella. And I said that to Brian, and Brian's like, okay. But what I love about the character of Stella, she's one of the leads. She's a matchmaker extraordinaire who's skeptical about AI companionship and thinks her old school matchmaking skills result in better matches. So I love that you're playing this part, Chris. And a fun fact about Chris, she was part of Boys and Girls, which was an American pop group that toured with Britney and NSYNC. So, we've got some impressive folks in the house. And then I also want to introduce Deanna. So Deanna Baxter is someone that I actually have also worked with before. In addition to roles she's played on TV shows like Scandal, American Crime Story, Impeachment, which I literally jumped out of my seat when I saw you in that. And I was like, yes, because I loved that season. But also Bosch, NCIS, Los Angeles, just to name a few. But you also played the role of an exotic dancer ringleader, Danny, in Stripped, which is a co-created project between our mutual friend Christina Dunbar and myself, and did such a phenomenal job. So when I reached out to you to play JoJo, I was thrilled you said yes, and I just want to welcome you both. And yeah, Gianna, I'll go to you first, and then we'll go back to Chris. What resonated for you about this project?
Uh, I think what you've been speaking into. First and foremost, I did not know where it was going in a good way, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
pretty
You
intuitive. I'm
said
like,
that, yes, I
okay,
remember that.
this is where this is gonna go. And I was like, wait, what? And it had me thinking deeper about how beautiful it is to be human, to have the flaws,
Mm,
all of that. And let's be real, it's already here. This script is so like still like pushing the edge of what is happening right now. I mean, this script, it literally is like, oh, maybe a year from now, maybe 2 years from now.
right.
We already have the bots, y'all, right? So it's not going
Yes.
anywhere. So I love that and I resonate with JoJo, and again, not to give away any of the script, but as a woman who has never been married, as a woman who is a young elder now in age, right? As a woman who is witnessing family members pass and all the things, and this thought of like,
All the
oh,
things.
am I going to be alone? And not a mother either. Am I going to be alone?
Right.
So it's like, oh, well, maybe. But then what I love, Lisa, and this is a testament to you, you know, you're a brilliant writer. But what I love is that you're bringing in every single point of view and also the repercussions when it comes to rolling blackouts or what have you, the repercussions on Mama Earth. And so I was just like,
Yeah.
it's just a brilliant script. And I read it. Remember, I was like, oh, I'll read it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Whatever. I read it and I couldn't stop reading it. And I like,
I think you audioed
right away.
me. Yeah. I was like, oh, good.
So I'm honored to be a part of this. I think it is necessary to spark more discussions on the ethical implications, as well as, you know, it's not going anywhere. So how do we
It's
act?
here. Yeah.
How
How do we make sense of it? How do we make peace with it? How do we wrestle with our feelings about, I mean, it really opens a can of worms. And like I said, my husband is part of a responsible AI group, and the way he approaches it, I'm like, he wants to pass legislation. That's where his mind goes. Like, he's really like, I don't just want to like be in business. I want to be about legislation. So we're protecting things. And I'm like, God, I never even thought about that. That's so interesting. Chris, uh, tell me about your experience. I approached you with this after we've worked together. What are you excited about playing Stella and bringing Tainted Love to life?
I really resonated with the character. I felt that I was very curious in a sense of that she's so quote unquote perfect. What is her imperfection and why she feels that she is so enlightened in love all the time? Like what makes her the expert? What drives her to feel like she can match people? And obviously not to give the end of your story because it was quite the twister. I really loved the just the way she embodied herself. Like there was just some kind of like she was just so hard that she became,
Yeah.
there was this little teardrop of soft that I really enjoyed.
Yes.
Yeah. So I
You
really
get
enjoyed
it.
that.
You get it. And what I love that you just said, so I've written books about breakups and dating. So I was in that kind of world of like experts, dating experts and coaches and matchmakers. And I really, there are a lot of really great folks out there doing great work, and there's a lot of not so great folks.
Mhm.
And one of the things that always bothered me was the people who thought and were convinced they had all the answers and there was no other way. And I was like, that's realistic because love is not one size fits all or like none of it. So,
And some have TV shows that we've seen. So
right. Yes, exactly. So I always have loved exploring that side of expertise because I think expert is such a slippery slope word.
mhm,
Uh, and I think it's going to get slipperier with technology because, again, you can be an expert at technology, but that doesn't mean you're an expert. To
expert.
Deanna's point, and what we discuss in the script or examine in the script is like, but that doesn't make you an expert at what's best for the planet or the people.
Right.
So I'm really just honored and excited to bring this to life. My phone is blowing up. I will answer you in a minute. So I want to just ask one more question. Actually, this is perfectly timed. So if you knew that you could meet the love of your life, and John, for you, I'm going to take AI out of the equation. If
You're
you
like,
knew, and you are in a beautiful, loving relationship. So let's get clear. If you knew that you could be, can I say your lady's name?
Sure.
Is that okay? Okay. That you and Angela could be together forever, but it was going to cost the planet a lot. Would you be willing to sacrifice the planet for your love?
Oh, wow. What a horrible question to ask me.
I know.
So, well, first of all, I'm that important that if I'm with Angela, the world is going to explode. Is that what you're saying?
No, but I'm trying to take the AI out of it. Because like the question was, if you knew that you could have the perfect AI companion, but it would tax the earth. But because of your strong opinions, I wanted to see how you would feel if I took it a different direction.
Wow, I feel like William Shatner in Star Trek, where he says, I don't believe in the premise, so I'm not going to answer the question. Um,
That's fair.
I don't believe in the premise. It's
Okay.
like, but I think it's just another reason not to use AI because you're going to screw with the planet. You know, how much
Yeah.
energy it takes to create
Yes.
these things.
And that's what I think not enough people maybe have heard about. Like, I didn't know Bitcoin was so energy depleting.
Mhm.
So Bitcoin, AI, yes, these are innovations, but at what cost? And I really, again, responsible AI husband over here, like at what cost? At what cost? So I'm curious from the rest of you, like just thinking about this concept of like, oh, I could have that feeling I've always been seeking. Because I think about it with my husband. I have been with my husband for 20 years. I cannot believe that. Because it felt like I was alone I was single for a long time, but then I remember feeling really lonely for a period before I met him. And it felt like it took a long time to find him. And now I'm like, could not have found him a day sooner. Oh my God. But I think about the question. It is a preposterous question. I'm glad I don't have to answer it. Um, but I might be selfish and say, yeah, I'd let the planet rot. I might. because this love has been so instrumental and such a gift to my life. Let me be clear, he's a pain in the ass, but like he's such a good human, and I'm so fucking grateful for the man. So here's what other people have to say.
I'll jump in and just quickly say that my husband also is a pain in the ass, but love of my life, my best friend. I hate being away from him. Um, I have a stepbrother who was 60, never had a romantic relationship in his life. And I think this is so what's the right word for it? It's got to be in the right position, right? So for my stepbrother, yes, I would say absolutely. The man was never going to find love. The man was never going to find a companion. He needed AI. That would have changed his life dramatically. However, I have a brother-in-law and a sister-in-law who I would look at them and be like, are you effing nuts? Like, get a real spouse, have some real children so that my niece, so that they would have my children would have cousins. I would
Yeah.
have nieces and nephews, you know, with an AI bot, like they're not, I would be like,
But
yeah,
what if you could have kids? What if you had AI kids?
yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, no,
Just saying,
no.
like, yeah. So I love, again, love this conversation because of what it brings up.
Right. I mean, it's very much who it's relating to, right? In
Yeah.
one instance, my brother, I'd be like all for it because he was weird and a recluse and strange, and there was no way he was ever going to meet anybody, you know. But then on the other side, the other flip coin, right? My in-laws, I'm like, get over yourself, find a mate, have some kids,
Yeah.
give my kids some cousins, you know. So it really is very
Not either or. It's
situational,
a very gray area.
very gray.
Yeah. Yeah. Deanna.
Hmm. There's a lot that comes up when that question's asked because I think the people that suffer the most, even when, as we're using it right now, is the global south, is folks in underprivileged areas in this country, and Congo,
World.
right? And underprivileged areas in the world. So I'd say absolutely not. And at the same time, I think there's been a shift as well when it comes to I meet one person and I stay with them forever, right? And I'm saying this because I have a lot of younger clients in my intuitive guidance business and what have you. I'm like, this is so interesting, right? They're just like, yes, I have lovers and I'm satisfied with that and I'm
Yeah.
non-monogamous and that's fine with me, which is beautiful. I'm a
Yeah.
monogamous girl. I'm too damn jealous for that shit. No, 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 no. But so I'm like, this is but to what it does to the planet, absolutely not. And on top of it, like I said, the people that could afford to do it and that would do it, and the people that it affects on top of the planet,
Great point.
no, I think it's selfish.
Incredible point.
Yeah. Because it wouldn't be for everybody because this will
No,
cost money.
lots of it. And
Yeah.
honestly, there could be a great transfer of wealth, right? Uh,
Woo.
between those
Wow. We're really
able.
going deep. Like, yeah, like,
Sorry.
no, I love it. I love it. It just, I always go back to that movie Elysium. I don't know who saw it, but like, some people lived on a really great planet and everyone else lived in shitty Earth.
It
And
was fantastic. Yeah.
I feel like the pandemic created that reality in on the Earth. Rich
Exponentially.
people got so much richer and people who were struggling struggled all the more. And I have such concern about that divide. Um, yeah, very interesting. Chris, other thoughts from you?
Let's see. Well, I feel that again, I think it would benefit a certain demographic of people. Some people are just not meant to be in relationships, maybe it could
Yeah,
help with the divorce rates. I don't know. Maybe they could try on a relationship for size and see what, I guess it's that individual, that partier, or maybe just that person, like, again, that they're soft and they just don't want to go out, like, things like that. So it can it can definitely work in its own way, but you have to
Yeah.
you have to know yourself as an individual. Now, when it comes to the planet, I wish that everybody was down for the planet, but it's hard for everyone to get there nowadays in this world, in this climate that we are in right now. I would love for everybody to recycle and be on board. Um, but again, make that maybe make it a part of the AI. Like, okay, we'll take it and we'll recycle it or something. I don't know, like
Yeah.
you
Find
get
a way to make it a
What
win. Yeah.
you get a
What do
couple
you
of
what do you
coins if you
do?
recycle him. I'm not
Yeah,
really
what do you
sure.
do if you don't like him or her?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Send it back.
Great question.
Reprogram.
Mhm. Disassemble Johnny Five. Like, I don't.
And yeah, I mean, and then there's the idea of tweaks and modifications, because in the short, one of our characters is very ingenious and pays for some modifications that changes her life. And
Yeah. And I think people really would like that. I think people would,
I
I
think so
think there'll be
too.
a lot of people that would like that. I know definitely a lot of men in certain demographics and political climates that would definitely like the yes, ma'am. And also with women, it's just kind of like, I don't have to cater to an
Right.
individual. I can do what I want with you and I plug you back in.
I don't have to be mom to you.
I'm sorry.
I don't have to be mom to you.
Right. And then also,
You're
yeah,
Turn you off for
self-sufficient.
12 hours.
and then that could also
Right.
work with, same-sex relationships, it's that it's not out of the realm of possibilities. So,
Yeah, I love this discussion. I want to thank y'all for the discussion, and it tells me how much fun we're going to have on sets. It tells me how deep and rich and multifaceted this topic is, which is why I'm so glad we're bringing it to life. So I thank each of you for rolling with the tech gremlins so we can hop on Zoom and have this conversation. Yeah, we will leave it at that. Thanks everybody for joining. Oh, so just one note, crowdfunding. We are crowdfunding. So I will put a link when I post this on social. We are in the last 2.5 weeks of our crowdfunding campaign and we need your support. So if y'all can donate, $1 counts, more is great. But this is a labor of love. This is an independent filmmaking endeavor that I've never, well, I did it once before for Stripped. And I saw the power of that, right? By doing it ourselves, we got to create the art we wanted to create. And that was really powerful. So I'm excited to be able to do that again. And it takes a village. So every dollar counts. I appreciate everyone who's donated. Thank you to all of our incredible donors. We've got like 50 donors. Several of you have been repeat donors, which blows my mind. Thank you for that. And several of you have chosen to remain anonymous, but give significant sums, whether it's small or large, it doesn't matter. I also know there's people who are on a budget and have given money, and I'm so grateful for all of it. So thank you to everyone who has contributed and is supporting this project, including this incredible cast and crew. And I'm just going to say there's more to come. Any final thoughts from anybody here?
I adore you, Lisa. That's my
Oh,
final
I
thought.
adore you.
Second.
I'm just,
Third.
I'm super excited to be a part of this project and I can't wait to bring it to life.
Ugh. Same. It feels so good. It's honestly magic. And I feel like what we are co-creating in the ether before we even go to film, but in a moment like this tonight, I feel the magic so deeply. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. This is like, yes, it's a full body. Yes, it has been from the beginning, but this, especially right now, I'm feeling it. And I'm in such gratitude to each of you for being in this magic together.
And also, I love your energy, by the way. Like when I first met you, it was just, you're just an amazing person. And, thank you for thinking of me for this part as well. So, yeah. And I can't wait to meet the
pleasure.
rest of you guys. Like, oh, well, John, John, actually, long story short, we're in the same acting class together.
That's right. Yes, you guys found that out at our table
Yeah,
read.
we just found that out, which was awesome. I was like, hey.
I love that. And then you and Eusebia were talking, Chris, about like you probably have gone up to be like couples before.
Yeah, and auditioning. Yeah, small world.
Yeah. So it's a beautifully small world. I love that about the world. And again, to be continued, more to come. Thank you everybody for giving us time tonight. And I am going to stop recording.